Hello viewers and welcome back. Today I'm out here on my 79Bike Falcon Pro. I got about 500 kilometers on the bike so far, so let's go for a ride and I'll tell you what I think about it. Alright, as we get going here, let's talk a little bit about the bike. They claim it has a 120 kilometer range. I tested it and I only got about 40 kilometers. It has a 10 kilowatt motor and a 72 volt 35 amp hour battery. It comes in at 130 pounds. That's about 5 pounds heavier than the Sur-Ron Light Bee. So far, this is one of my favorite electric bikes. Now, I haven't got to try a lot of them. I've only tried the Sur-Ron, the Talaria, and now the 79 Falcon Pro. But this is the bike I would choose to go out and ride. Woo! Alright, now that I've told you a little bit about the bike, let's go over the things I don't like and get that part out of the way right now. First off are these grips. They're soft, they're a little big, they didn't quite come glued down. I'm more of a rental, half waffle kind of guy, and these will probably be one of the first things I take off. My second con for this bike is going to be the rear tire. As you can see, I've already burned off the tread, and it's going to be swapped out very soon. This one is soft, a little skinny, and leaves a bit to be desired. Also, I'd like to see them upgrade the bike to an 18-inch rear wheel. I think that would help out a lot. Con number 3 is going to be about the charging. Now, I left it charging overnight, and when I came back the next morning, the charger was quite hot. Now, I don't know if that's a problem, but it is a little concerning. Also, while it's charging, you can't really tell what the battery percentage is at. You can kind of peek down underneath the cover here and see a few lights that roughly tell you where it's at, but I'd like to see an actual percentage. And there we go. Those are my cons for the bike so far. There's not a lot to dislike about this bike. Let's move on to the pros. If you're interested in picking up a 79Bike Falcon Pro for yourself, make sure you check out the link in the description below and use the coupon code MAX for $100 off your purchase. Alright, there's a lot to like about the bike, so we're just going to start from the top. Here we go. First thing is going to be the display. It is bright. It has all the information you need, and it's one of the best I've seen so far on these electric bikes. Pro number 2 is going to be these brakes. Not only do the levers feel better, they don't feel cheap and flimsy compared to like the Sur-Ron, but I got about 500 kilometers on the bike right now, and I'm still using the stock pads. I haven't experienced any brake fade yet. The levers still feel great. You don't have to pull them right to the bar just to stop, so I'm loving that. My third pro is going to be this headlight. You can't tell right now because it's daytime, but this thing is powerful. If you like riding at night, this bike is going to be for you. Pro number 4 is going to be the suspension. These Fast Ace forks are some of the best I've felt on an electric bike so far. There's a few drops in front of me. Let's go give it a try. Alright, little drop. Oh yeah, soaks it up. Over the snake. Little pop. Woo. Fast Ace suspension. Buttery smooth. Pro number 5 is going to be the wide foot pegs and foot peg support bar. Usually 2 of the first accessories I have to throw on my Sur-Ron. This bike comes stock. Pro number 6 is going to be the key card reader here. I hate carrying around extra keys. The last thing I want is all these keys here on the front of my bike, bouncing away and making noise, scratching stuff up. I don't want to carry an extra key. Having this card that you just tap, bike on, tap, bike off. That's one of my favorite features so far. Woo! This isn't really on the pros list, but if you want a bike that wheelies, this one's for you. Oh yeah! My next pro is going to be how quiet the bike is and how smooth it rolls. There's no excessive whistling, squeaking, kind of like the Sur-Ron this year. It sounds really bad, and both the Sur-Ron and the Talaria almost feel like they're dragging an anchor as soon as you let off the throttle. This bike just wants to go, just wants to roll. Alright, pro number 7, and next we're going to talk about the power. It does have a 10 kilowatt motor, and you do notice that extra little bit of pull over other bikes, but the main difference is the power curve. It's very smooth and linear, very dependable, especially on tight trails like this, where you don't want a jerky throttle that's going to send you tumbling down the hill. Woo! You want a throttle that's nice, smooth, and dependable. And that brings us to pro number 8, the tunability. Not only does the bike have 3 drive modes, Eco, Drive, and Sport, but these modes can be tuned in the app. You can turn down the acceleration, the available power, the top speed, making the bike very usable for beginners and experienced riders. My final pro for the bike is going to be how it feels. I like how the bars are upright. It's perfect for trail riding and doing wheelies. It also feels very sturdy, quality, well made. Other bikes almost feel like they're bending, flexing. This one is just solid. Feels like it can handle whatever you throw at it. I'd like to say this is one of my favorite electric bikes so far, and the one I'm going to pick to take out on a ride. So make sure you use the coupon code MAX for $100 off your purchase, and ride safe.